Want to give your digital art that authentic paper feel without having to leave Procreate? In just a few steps, you can create your own paper textures just like this from scratch. Stick around to learn my favorite method for making paper texture brushes, plus I've got a bonus tip that will make it really pop. Hi, welcome back to Haley K Studio. I'm Haley and I like making Procreate tutorials for beginners. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be walking you through how to create your own paper texture brushes in Procreate that are perfect for adding depth and richness to your art. In a recent video, I made a 3D paper cutout and I shared some paper textures, and I thought it'd be really great to show you how I made those paper texture brushes. And be sure to stick around to the end because I got a couple bonuses for you. So let's go ahead and get started on making our own paper texture brushes. So since we are going to be creating a brush in Procreate, it's best if we begin with a square canvas. It doesn't totally matter the size, but I like to set mine to 2048 pixels by 2048 pixels. I find that I get really good resolution in my brushes at this size, so around there is a pretty good size for creating your image for your new brush. So in order to create a texture brush or a paper texture brush, you will need an example of some paper. You can do this by taking a picture with your camera or your iPad of paper that you already own that maybe has a lot of texture that you would like to use in Procreate, or you can go out to a stock photo website, license a couple images of paper textures that you like. You can just search paper background or paper texture. When you do that, you just want to make sure that you license them correctly for how you want to use these. If you want to sell these brushes at some point, you would want to purchase a commercial license for the image that you are going to use, just to keep things above board. However, if you just want to use these for personal use, you can just get a personal use license and it's less expensive that way. So you have some options there when licensing. For free, you could always just take a picture of some paper and you've fully created something from scratch. Another thing you want to watch out for when choosing a paper texture or taking a photo of a paper texture, if you want to make sure that your grain brush is seamless, having an even lighting in the image is best, because lighting on a grain will make you lose some of that seamlessness when it goes all across your canvas or in any little spot. Sometimes you see some seams if you don't make sure that the lighting is very even. So I've sourced some that have fairly even lighting on them. It's got a pretty heavy texture to these. Even so, we will still need to make a couple adjustments. So in my square canvas, I have these paper textures that aren't square. So what I will do is I will use my transform tool just to fill up my canvas with that image, and so I've just sized it up so that it's cropped to that square size. And I do want to make a few more adjustments, and I want to go to the Adjustments tab and go to Hue, Saturation, and Brightness. And in Hue, Saturation, and Brightness, I want to turn down the saturation to none so that it is just black and white. And then I'll go back to the Adjustments tab and go to Curves. In Curves, you want to go to Gamma. I'm not going to adjust the bar here. I'm going to adjust these dots kind of closer together, just so that the black and white is just a little more contrasted when they are a little closer together, especially this bottom dot here on this axis down here. Moving that closer to the side gives you a lot of contrast. Now that I'm seeing a lot of contrast in this paper texture, I feel like this is ready to create into a paper texture brush. So I'm going to leave adjustments. From my layer stack, I will just hit copy. I'll go to my brush library and I will add a new brush set, and we can retitle this to paper textures. We will hit the plus sign here, and then the first thing we want to go to is taper, just to make sure that there's no taper set up on this one, and then we'll just go straight to grain. Now we'll go to edit, import, and paste, and I want to invert this, so let's invert that and then click done. We do want it set to moving, movement is rolling, scale is to your choice, and I'm gonna set this up to about 35% for mine. And then let's go down to brightness, turn that up, and then contrast, turn that up. So now we've got 0 brightness and we've turned up our contrast to about 30%. And then we'll move on to rendering, and I'm gonna switch this to light glaze. So you can see already that it's turning more into a texture brush than a brush that you would draw with, and the other settings can stay as is. I'm going to go to Apple Pencil, and then in pressure, I want to turn opacity all the way down to none under properties, and then under max size, you can set that all the way to max, and then maximum opacity. You can turn this down if you'd like, but I'm going to set it to max for this one. It's looking okay. For About This brush, you can change the name Recycled Paper. And then again, if you want to sell this, I highly suggest adding your name and your picture, and you can also even sign it if you want. And then now that's all done, you click done. And now that looks like an actual piece of paper. And there is a little bit of seams here. It's not entirely seamless, but that's okay, especially if you turn down the opacity, you won't see those as much. And then if you turn this all the way up, and you just kind of fill your whole screen with it, it kind of evens out, especially if you turn that opacity. And now we've got a texture brush that will always be with us. We don't have to paste in like a transparent PNG of paper. We've got a paper texture anytime we need it. So let's go ahead and make another one. So I'm going to clear out that layer and just untoggle it. And let's do this canvas style piece of paper. So again, I'm going to fill up my screen with this entire sheet of paper, and then I want to go to adjustments, and this is already black and white. That other piece of paper had some color to it, and this one's already a grayscale, so I don't need to change it to a grayscale. So I'll go straight to curves, and we're already in gamma here, and we will just add more contrast by moving these a little bit more together and just getting it to where we want. And that's actually making it pick up some more color, and that's okay. This will just turn to a grayscale once we paste it into a brush. So that looks like how we need it to at this point. So now I will go ahead and copy that, and you don't have to start from scratch every time you make a texture that you want to behave in the same way. So what I'll do is I'll just duplicate that first one that we made, and all of the coding is going to be how we like it. So we'll just make all of our adjustments to the grain tab. And I will go to grain source and edit and import and paste. It's already inverted how we want it, so we don't have to make that adjustment again. So you can hit done. So now you can already see we've got a new paper texture, but we can always go down to the contrast and make sure that it's contrasting the way we want to, and make any adjustments that you want to there. And then go to the About tab and then change this. So we'll just say this is canvas paper, and these can be named anything you want. They don't even have to have a name. It could be emojis if you want, and you can hit done. And now we have our canvas paper brush. So we will select that first blank layer again and test this out. And now we've got a very nice canvas texture. If you don't like these seams, that they're really hard to avoid when you are creating your paper textures from pictures or from stock images, you can always go back to grain and you can scale it up. And as you scale it up, you can see, if you watch that seam right there, you can kind of just watch it disappear as you scale up the image. So now if we hit done, you're seeing less seams. There's still a bit of seams, but you can keep making adjustments as you need to. So this is another bonus tip that I wanted to give, and that is layering your texture brushes. Don't be afraid to layer multiple paper textures and adjust the blend modes to create an even more depth to your artwork. This is something that is going to add uniqueness and something that no one else has. When you make your own texture brushes and then you also layer them, it adds even more to your artwork. So we've got this canvas paper and our recycled paper, and we can just layer those, and you can change the opacity and of course the blending modes, and you can just cycle through the blending modes to add even more uniqueness to your texture in your image. So thank you so much for watching this. As a thank you, I want to share these paper texture brushes with you. So I have my paper textures that I had shared in a previous video, and I'm going to add these new brushes to it and share that again, and visit the link below, and you can have these for your own personal use. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more videos like this one, hit that subscribe, and I'm going to see you next time. Thank you. Bye.